And welcome back to another video. Yep. Today we have the monthly for August of 2023.
Yeah, Tundra Wolves monthly tournament. The format Boréal. That's
Boréal.
That's the all-inclusive, right?
Yes, that's Atlantic, basically with 4 strip mines.
Well, everything is a 4, right? We got 4.
Yeah,
4. Wait, Atlantic is also like that?
Yeah.
Atlantic allows 4 time vault, 4 recall, all that stuff?
4 recall, 4 workshops.
I've lost track of all the formats, I guess. Anywho.
Today we have, Pascal's deck?
No, this is Sam.
Samuel's deck?
Yeah,
Yes.
Sam is playing the Lion Dib. Pretty, well, I was going to say pretty standard, but actually not, right? Like, you don't usually see Black Vice and, I think, Bloodlust in those decks.
Yeah, I think that's probably wanting to spice up the deck a bit.
Yeah, which is okay. I mean, I'm into that. I like Black Vice a lot from, across all formats, really, so...
Yeah, I mean...
I like seeing it in the burn deck.
Yeah, it's always...
Well, sorry, it's not really a burn deck, is it? I mean, it is, but...
It's semi-burn. I mean, Black Vice is going to be good if he's playing against, the deck. Various decks that want to, draw a lot of cards, so...
Well, I mean, I guess it is a burn deck. I didn't even realize there's 4 Side Blast in there, too.
Yeah, I guess it would be a burn deck. You got 4 Side Blast, you got 4 Lightning Bolts. Looks like you got 3 Chain Lightnings.
So it's interesting, if you compare it to the Louder deck in Swedish, which is a Lion Dib deck, but only 1 strip mine, it's like, that deck is more controlling. This one, I guess, with the 3 or 4 strip mines, it encourages you to be more aggressive, so you cut out on all that stuff and you go more into the burn territory.
Yeah, I mean, the Louder deck has a bit more, the Swords of Plowshares, counter spells.
Yeah, even has power sinks.
Yeah.
And stuff. So this is just like Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, Side Blast, Black Vice. Yeah, I guess burn deck. Burn deck.
I mean, the Black Vice is going back to the Black Vices, I guess, with the strip mines. Maybe if you could knock your opponent off mana sources, forcing them to keep more cards in their hand, being a little bit more effective.
I kind of like the plows in the sideboard as a thing to bring in versus specific decks, but I don't like it in the main deck. I think you don't need to have that one of. I think the balance is already tackling that safety zone of creatures that can't be bolted, and then plow in the main kind of goes against the game plan. But I mean,
we'll see how it works out.
Safety first, I guess.
Yeah.
This is Pascal's deck. This is like you look at it and you know right away. I guess he's. But no, because even then he's not the Blood Moon. So is this a burn deck? So he's calling it Blue Red Moon, which I mean that's like. I think that's like a modern term. I don't know if that's but interesting though because.
I mean, his main board is 98% red.
Yeah.
Minus the 2 power cards or the 3 power cards.
So it's a little. It's a little U. It's a little U R.
A little U, big R.
Yeah,
yes.
big R moon.
I do like some of the proxies he's using, like the Chaos Confetti, Lacquer Lotus, the Time Twisters, which are, always nice to see.
Blood Moon is pretty interesting, right? I don't think people get punished enough for their greedy mana bases in the format in general. So I think it's nice to see Blood Moon decks every once in a while. Usually, I haven't had very much success with them. They usually I don't know, they don't do good for me, or I don't do good with them, whichever one makes more sense. But I'm still happy to see it whenever someone brings it out. It makes me happy. Idwin Afreed is another interesting one. It's a 3/6 for 3, which is really good stats if you're trying to do a burn plan as well as a Blood Moon plan. Obviously, it comes with a gamble, like every other Ifrit. There's always a downside.
So if it chooses to block, the opponent calls, heads or tails. If he wins, cannot block for this turn, which is always like something a little spicy.
But it's okay, right? Because the guy attacks still, right? So it's kind of you can curve in this. There's nothing really happening on 2, but just to say, it's a thing to do on turn 3. Like when I was building the Goblin deck recently, I just threw some Goblin Kings in there as just a thing to curve into on turn 3. Just do something more on turn 3 than only rely on Ball Lightning. Now he's got the Blood Moon, which means now you've got 9 things competing on that turn. But still, just to say, it's a nice 3/6 body. Even if it doesn't block, it's still attacking for 3, and it's hard to kill, right? Can't be bolted.
Yeah.
Blocking almost nothing kills it.
I feel that it might struggle a little bit on the curve because between turn 1 and turn 3, other than the fork, which more times than not will not be doing very much. So I'm curious to see how this will perform because you got to make hard decisions on turn 3. You play your Ball Lightnings, you play your Ifrits, your Blood Moons. But going back to what you said about the Blood Moons, I haven't played with them enough, but I think it will probably affect his opponent, being with a greedy mana base.
But the Lion Dib guy, what's his mana looking like? He's got.
So he's got Tundra.
Oh yeah, his deck is entirely. Sam's deck is entirely dual land. Like there's not a single basic in there, so he'll be relying on his Moxen and Black Lotus should Pascal get an early Blood Moon or just a Blood Moon in general when the game isn't close to being over.
I mean, his other response will be the sideboard matches where he could bring in Blue Elemental Blast, kind of.
Oh yeah, well, sideboarding does change a lot of things, of course.
Yeah, so.
Just to say also, the Fork is kind of also a 3-cost card. Like, at the very least, you're copying your own Lightning Bolt or Ancestral, right? So, like, that card also costs 3. There's a lot of 3-cost cards, basically, in the deck.
Yeah. I felt maybe one of the 3, like the Ball Lightning or the Ifrit, could have been placed with a card that costs 2 instead.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to kind of give that nice curve going.
But at the end of the day, the Ifrit is always fun to see.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Fun is a factor.
Well, Ball Lightning's fun, you know, you smash in for 6.
Oh yeah. That's a pretty low hand keep. I wonder if everyone can see it. We have some interesting lighting. Is this normal lighting or is this a new ambiance, as they say?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the placement of where it is in the bar.
Interesting. Yeah. Maybe we got different tables.
So he's playing the Mountain Ruby. I think he took a mulligan, so.
Sam too, I think.
Yeah. Oh, swinging in for 3.
Turn 1 Chain Lightning. It's always 3 damage for 1. That's what. If you're on a burn plan, that's what you want to do. 3 damage for 1. But yeah, it's like with the Chain Lightning. Do you use it right away? Do you wait to see what your opponent's doing? Like now if Sam plays a Lion, would you have preferred to bolt the Lion? I mean, I presume you
It
have
also
more.
depends, do you have 2 burn spells? Do you have only 1? You know, so...
That's true. This is true.
If I'm playing a burn deck and I have 2 burn spells, and one of them is a sorcery like Chain Lightning, I'll feel a bit more inclined to play right away.
So that's,
and keep that Lightning Bolt in the hands.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt. Yeah, for sure. The Lightning Bolt I like to use at the last possible second. I'm not in a rush to use my instant speed burn.
Okay, so Pascal passing turn.
Well, interesting because like Sam doing nothing on turn 1 and playing a colorless land is exactly what Pascal wants to see. But then Pascal not doing anything is either telling of Lightning Bolts or unfortunate for himself to not be able to take advantage of Sam doing nothing.
Yeah.
But again, there's our issue, right? Nothing to do on turn 2.
Yeah, like
no
I said.
Ongs, no tablets, no Togs, no Goblins, no Iron Claw Orcs, which I'm very high on right now. Especially in a burn deck. Like Chain Lightning, Orc, Ball Lightning.
Yeah, you just keep that ball going. And...
Yeah.
Okay, so bolting.
A greedy attack. A turn 1 do nothing into a greedy attack is definitely punishing versus a burn deck.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I mean, sometimes you take your gambles. If you got nothing going on, you have to do something sometimes.
Yeah, you don't...
Sometimes.
Oh, playing the Blood Moon.
And there's a tier probably from Sam's side of the board. Do you concede to that if you're Sam's deck? Well, no, because you have...
No, you have red cards. It's shutting off...
everything.
A good portion of it.
You need to literally find your Mox Pearl or your...
I mean, he's still got the Lotus. He's still got the Moxen.
Yeah. But that's what I mean, right? Like, there's a lot of... myself included, I would... other than... The fabled Twiddle Vault, I would come to an event with the greediest mana base, 100%. I wouldn't be thinking about Blood Moon. Yeah. I mean, I'd be thinking about it, but I wouldn't think anybody would dare play it,
or maybe as a sideboard piece, but main board, yeah.
I'd tempt those gods, so... Yeah. I wonder what Sam can do, really. Unless he gets the Lotus.
There you go.
Lotus. But, that's the one-time use, right? So make it count.
Yeah.
Make it count. Time Twister, maybe? Or Wheel of Fortune into trying to find more Moxen. Or Disenchant. Disenchant is good, right?
Yes.
It's a Side Blast. So maybe you hold the Lotus. Maybe you can play... That's right, don't hold the Lotus. You can get smoked by Wheel Effect.
Okay, so he's playing the Ancestral as well. Because he taps the Volcanic.
Yeah, interesting.
Using the Lotus, so he figures... I would probably have played the Ancestral, kept the 2 floating blue mana, first and then having nothing. Maybe use the side blast later.
It's just like for me, it's once I see that Blood Moon and I remember that my deck has no basics. I remember that Mox Pearl, Mox Sapphire, and Black Lotus are the only 3 cards that I need to draw, and drawing any one of them is like a sacred thing. And if Black Lotus only has 1 use, I don't know if I'm using it just on an Ancestral, especially in a format like this where you can kind of just draw 3 dead cards, especially under a Blood Moon.
Yeah.
I might be waiting for my Disenchant before I play that Lotus.
Maybe you're scared that Pascal's holding a Shatter, so he's wanting to sack the Lotus immediately.
Yeah,
not taking that chance, because a lot of mono red or almost mono red decks usually splash a Shatter or 2.
Yeah, so now I am playing Shatters in my in my own mono red deck.
Exactly, yeah. So there you go.
But I think I'm more afraid of Wheel Effect than the Shatter.
Okay, so interesting. Sam's playing a Bolt. Pascal's forking it.
Always nice to see Fortnite used. People love that card.
It's a rare appearance. It's every time I've played it in the deck, I've never been able to actually play it. So
what's Benoit has one that's double signed by Garfield on the
I saw that.
I don't know if it's edited too to give like extra copying, but just to say it's just to shout that out really quickly. So interesting to note, I guess, that even though Pascal is in the lead, I would say he is not by virtue of life total. So the Psionic Blast and the Lightning Bolt still proving to be a threat. So yeah, no need to concede when you're playing 7 bolts.
Yeah, I mean,
he can draw 4 more bolts. Like, it is a thing that can happen. He's played only 1 in a Side Blast, which will probably, well, unless he gets the Sapphire, right?
I mean, he could probably draw Wheel.
There's another bolt.
He could maybe draw Wheel of Fortune. There you go, Wheel of Fortune.
So really getting some good cards.
Oh, like even knocking
considering
the Ancestral out of Pascal's head.
Yeah, but that's okay, right? He'd like keep your 7 instead of the 3. It would feel bad to play Ancestral and then get wheeled.
Now, Pascal maybe could play Black Vice next turn, dealing a little bit of damage if he drew any.
Even Sam, right, has Black Vice. He can also go land Black Vice, or no, he already played a land, but he can play Mox Black Vice. Ah, the
wrong Mox. All the Moxes.
Yeah, 7 cards, and unfortunately not able to do anything. Would have been really strong had he drawn 1 more burn spell. Is a ball lightning? Getting
well, he's only tapped 2, so I'm wondering what.
Yeah, I thought he was going for that ruby.
Okay.
Three, 6, 9.
9 damage to the face. That's quite a bit. Now, had Sam had another red mana source, he could have chained lightning.
Chained back, yeah.
Chained back to Pascal.
And
Winds of Change.
oh, I think I'm waiting for next turn. If my opponent draws 7 cards and they're playing burn cards and they go Mox Ruby Pass, I don't think I'm giving them a fresh 7.
Yeah.
That's especially when they're at 3 life and your top decks are all pretty much live as a burn deck.
Well, we'll see how this plays out.
And
It'll
like also as the red deck, he only has Mox Sapphire, which doesn't pay for a 1 mana burn spell. So yeah, that was an interesting decision. I don't know
if it's one I'd make, but let's see if his gamble pays off.
Because you can even just do, like, if the idea is I want to just get rid of these trash cards and get 3 new ones to try to find a burn card, like, do that on your next turn. Because you only need 1 mana, right, to kill. So
yeah, exactly.
Instead of giving your opponent a fresh 7 after they did nothing with their other 7, we'll see what happens. That's not a Mox Sapphire and a pass. Oh my.
Okay, so not looking good for Sam.
Oh my. The gods are cruel.
Yeah, the gods are cruel. And is it game? Tapping the red. Black Vice. Okay. Looks like he's only holding 4.
6. Is that 6?
Is that 6?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Not 5. Or...
Yeah.
All right. Interesting decisions in both game and from both players.
Yeah. Sam's options right now are to probably put in the Blue Elemental Blast for the Blood Moons.
Yeah.
He's got to answer those. He's got to respect the fact. I'm sure that didn't help his case. I'm sure he had cards that he could have played and won the match, but
are you
doing Blood Moon things?
Are you cutting the Dibs against a burn deck?
Interesting, probably.
Or is the side black?
Maybe the Black Vice.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things to cut.
Well, it depends because now you're on the play, so you keep the Black Vices because then you can maybe slam those down right away. Or do you feel that they might hinder your... Because you're playing against a burn deck, you maybe want to take out those Serendibs. Because you don't want to take any more damage. You don't have to, you know what I mean?
Interesting to note that Pascal himself is not playing any blasts other than the psionic kind in his sideboard. So, nothing really to deal with anything that Sam is doing. Right? There's nothing really to sideboard in, I think, from Pascal's side.
No, I mean, he's got, Disenchants. I don't think he's too concerned with Earthquakes. I don't think he's going to bring in, really. Backfire, and, I don't think it'll do him any good. So on Pascal's side, I'd probably just keep the deck as is.
Wait, what is this card in the side?
Backfire.
Yeah, what is that?
Basically, it's an enchant creature, and every time you enchant, so if you attack with it, and it deals 3 damage to me, it deals 3 damage to you as well.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
What just happened? Pascal showed his hand.
Probably another mulligan.
No, yeah, but he kept it, though. He kept it and then showed it. With the whole, he put it on. Unless Sam wasn't looking. Unless he closed his eyes.
Possibly.
It's okay. I missed it, though. We were talking about the sideboard. It's fine. I saw an Ancestral, though, I think. So we might be seeing an Ancestral on the end step.
Okay. So coming in strong with... Okay. So he's got the Chaos Sword, if ever.
Yeah, there's the Ancestral. Must be nice to play with powerful magic cards.
I know a thing or two about playing powerful magic cards.
So... That Chaos Orb is good because it hits the first Blood Moon, so he can be as aggressive as he wants with his mana tapping. He does not need to hold the Disenchant, which is very, very nice. Right?
Yeah. Well, he knows that Pascal's not playing with Disenchant, probably. So he's probably... nothing's worse than activating a Chaos Orb and then in response, your opponent disenchants it.
That's it, yeah.
A volcanic island. Time walk.
Interesting. So we're going to explore. Draw an extra card. Play an extra land.
Do
we have to discard? We might have to discard.
Going 1 card deeper into his deck.
Only 3 mocks. High chance of discarding.
Yeah, well, like I said, going back to there's no curve. So if you're not drawing...
Nothing to do.
Especially the turn 3, the Ball Lightnings and the Ifrit are both 3 reds.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the Time Walk a bit more potent because it turns your turn 2 into a turn 3 in a sense, but that's not necessarily the best use of the Time Walk. I mean, it's good. It's good. Now he's on turn 3 now, so he can do it. He can drop a 3 card. Now, unfortunately, he has an island in place, so there's no Ball Lightning coming down. But just to say, it did mitigate the fact that he's got nothing to do on turn 2.
Okay.
Pascal,
just passing
does
turn.
that smell like a fork to you? It smells like a fork to me.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just playing land and passing turn.
I wonder if he brings a Psy Blast in. Interesting. It'd be aggressive, but I wonder.
Okay.
Alright, the race is on.
Taking 3 to the face.
Alright.
Okay, well he's got 3 reds.
Says that a Ball Lightning. Okay, so you see what he just did? I do the same thing, and it's very telling, right? He just moved his 3 red sources off to the left. You're basically telling your opponent what you're thinking when you move the cards, kind of.
Yeah.
Right? I would assume he's at least considering a 3-cost card.
Even tapping, untapping, and tapping, kind of
Yeah.
you know.
So I mean, obviously now I don't know how like serious everyone's being at this event, and it's obviously just for fun and casual. But unless it's mind games, right?
Yeah, he's just messing.
Yeah, but like I do the same thing sometimes, and you're definitely giving away a lot of information. So in case that matters to people, and if you want to be very serious in an event, and you go to a serious event, just be wary of what you do with your body language. It is very telling to a lot of people. They can pick up on a lot of things.
I remember somebody talking about them playing a mono red deck, but putting in 4 plateaus, even though not playing any. Ooh.
Okay, that's not how that works. First, you play the Cyblast, I think, and then...
Yeah, and...
Oh, no, you have to hold priority for the fork, or does it have to, like... Yeah, I think you have to hold... Actually,
yeah,
maybe that is how that works, actually. Yeah. So he just did 8 damage, which is nuts, right?
Yeah.
But that's a main phase. Interesting.
But going back to the story is that you would play a mono red deck, splash 4 plateaus, just to mess with the opponent because it makes them think that they're holding swords, disenchantments.
Yeah.
So the whole playing with the mana base, putting your, kind of like grouping together what you're seeing there, could be a lot of giving away a lot of information.
Yeah.
Even though you might think it's not the case.
Like I think I even did it in the last video when we were playing the troll deck. I was like literally. Okay,
yeah, because we had a discussion about it after. And
this is my counter spell, and this is my lightning bolt, and this is my attacking with Mishra's Factory mana. So it's like just visualize it. It's like right there. You don't have to touch it, right? But it's okay.
Jesus, Sam just getting absolutely clobbered with. It's a burn deck, I guess.
What's kind of funny is there a world in where Pascal actually took the Blood Moons out?
I don't know.
Like, I don't think I would, but it's a freaking hilarious and possibly genius plan because if you actually scare the hell out of your opponent into the fact that they have nothing to do once you play that Blood Moon, they may heavily board into dealing with that Blood Moon or even change their playstyle to like deal with a incoming Blood Moon. But if you took them out...
yeah, just to mess with your opponent.
Yeah, that's like hilarious. So,
sounds like something you would do, actually.
I wonder. We'll see if we see one in the next 3 damage, or if we're just gonna get a.
Yeah.
All right, we got a wins and pass.
See, I think in the case, I probably would have put in like a COP red sideboard versus like Psychic Purge, because you're scared of like discard decks. I probably would have put in COP.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be too afraid of discard decks. I feel like I'll be.
Other than hymns,
but also you're going to empty your hand pretty fast as a burn deck, as a Lion, or even like as a even if you want to call it an aggro deck, and not a burn deck, you're still going to empty your hand. Especially if you're playing cards like Black Vice, right? Like, it's very low cost. And here's the bowl.
And 3 to the face.
And we have a quick burn mirror as it goes.
Interesting, you had 2 blue elemental blasts.
He didn't use it. Oh, well. Are we gonna... Yeah, we're gonna go and undo and blast of the lightning bolt.
Like I said, 30 years and we still don't know how to play the game.
It's okay.
Aw, that's just rude.
That's rude. hey, you could live if you play that blast. Just kidding, I'll kill you with this blast.
It's like, the Salt Bay, just putting salt in the wound. There you go.
Hopefully they're both having a good laugh about that.
Yeah, so I mean...
it's a burn mirror.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't call the Lion Dib deck a burn deck, but it looks like it was shifted towards being more of a burn deck. There's even 1 less dib. But yeah, that's what you get, 3 damage is going to go to the face, back and forth. Someone's going to get more burn, and if you either get the same cards and then it's the bitter man wins, or sometimes you just get blood mooned and can't do anything in game 1, and sometimes you don't really draw anything in game 2, and the burn deck wins. But yeah, I love burn, so I love seeing it.
Yeah.
I love doing it.
I just wish we would have seen the Afrits, or at least a Ball Lightning, make an appearance in these matches, but unfortunately...
Well, he was tapping those 3 mana. I would have really liked to see what was coming. That would have been interesting.
But I think it was a very good match. Lots of, lots of cards being played. It was just good old time of 2 mono red-ish decks.
We got to see Blood Moon and Fork, so
Yeah.
that's a win in my book.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, everyone. Thanks for watching.